So they're showing good signs of it. It's early days, but a great start. 2 clean sheets, 6 points in the league, and a new manager, and it all looks rosy.
But just going off of that PSG game you mentioned there, Joe, in that same position at 85 minutes, you're 2-0 up. Now you've got a manager in Thomas Frank who's so detailed. He would have got that analysis and said, this is where it went wrong, we don't do it again. And you learn from it. And I never felt at any point that they were ever going to concede and Man City were ever going to get back into it.
Well, we can get some reaction now because Polinia and Brennan Johnson are alongside Jules Breach.
Yeah, 2 very happy players. Well done, guys. A brilliant win, and not many teams stopped City from scoring. So how pleased are you with that result?
Yeah, really pleased. I think I thought we played really well today. I think we built on what we did last weekend, and we knew it was going to be a really different challenge, but a hard one. And yeah, to come here, get a clean sheet, score some goals, perfect.
Now, your first goal for Tottenham, that high press from Spurs seemed to cause City all sorts of problems today.
Yeah, I think we deserve it, the victory first of all. A top challenge for us again. I think we won with a lot of credit. I think we deserved this result. Happy as well from the clean sheet. So it's really important for us to keep this clean sheet again. And yeah, we are all happy with this victory. It was not easy, as I said before, but we are really happy.
What was the biggest draw for you to join Tottenham?
First of all, the coach who pushed me to come here, show me the project that he has here in Tottenham. And after, of course, the club. It's such a great club. I had the opportunity to say before, I'm really glad to be in the Premier League again, to enjoy the Premier League like the last time that I have been here. I'm so happy, me and my family, and now I just want to enjoy this top club and this top atmosphere again.
It's been a great start under Thomas Frank, Brennan. What's been the biggest change for you as players?
I think nothing massively. I think obviously 2 different coaches from last season and to the manager now that we have, but really enjoying it. I think a lot of detail goes into the set pieces, but at the same time, he gives us a lot of freedom in attacking areas as well. So yeah, it's a really good balance we got going on, and I think the way he kind of respects defending and wants us to be so hard to beat. I think the first 2 games we've kept 2 clean sheets, and especially against Man City, it's not easy. I've played here a lot of times and conceded a lot of goals. So yeah, it's not easy. So to come here and get a clean sheet is massive.
Well done today, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
They certainly respected the defending today. That's back-to-back clean sheets for Spurs. 2 wins out of 2 under Thomas Frank. The 2 goal scorers there saying it was not easy today, but they can be delighted with that performance. A lot more reaction to come from the Etihad as the new Premier League season is well up and running, and the new Serie A season kicks off later today on TNT Sports. Kevin De Bruyne could make his debut for Napoli as the reigning champions kick off with a trip to Sassuolo, and then Juve host Parma tomorrow at 7:45. We've also got Champions League playoff action in midweek. Rangers with it all to do on Wednesday in Belgium against Club Brugge. Russell Martin's side with a 2-goal deficit to overturn if they're to reach the league phase. Then on Thursday from 5, we'll have the Champions League phase draw. 6 English clubs, including Man City and Tottenham, of course, in that. The draws for the league phase in the Europa League and UEFA Conference League follow on Friday. And another tasty-looking Premier League game to look forward to. It's a West London derby between Chelsea and Fulham. That's live next Saturday morning from Stamford Bridge. And away from the football, the 90th edition of La Vuelta is underway after departing from Turin earlier today. That is live now on TNT Sports 3, and we'll join the coverage on 1 after we're done here at the Etihad. Plus, the MotoGP season roars on as they reach Hungary. You can catch up with the sprint race in full right now on Discovery Plus before the Grand Prix gets underway from 12:15 tomorrow. Plenty more to come from the Etihad, where Spurs have built on their hugely positive start to the new season, making it 2 wins out of 2 on the pitch. It is all good vibes for Thomas Frank's men.
Sell your car on Motorway, sponsors of the Premier League on TNT Sports.
Champions League qualification is hanging by a thread.
I'm telling you right now, shocking defending.
Who will hold their nerve?
They can breathe again.
and progress.
It's a stunning finish from Cyril.
That is superb. What drama!
Well, this is it, now or never.
Here we go.
I want to get this back on again. Get qualified for the Champions League. This is the moment.
See if Rangers can qualify for the Champions League. Live on TNT Sports.
Heading off to college? At Harvey Norman, get all the tech you need for the new term, like the HP OmniBook X laptop, powered by the super-fast Snapdragon X Elite processor. Stay on top of assignments with smart AI tools. Power through tasks with long battery life. Your AI stays private and fast, right on your device. Plus, meet your personal AI, always learning and tailored to you. Now 1499 save €200. And with our best price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? Harvey Norman, off to college.
Oh, what is this?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Wings? No more slithering.
Give it a try.
Either this whole wing thing is nonsense, or I did something wrong.
Red Bull Zero. 0 calories. 100% wings. Have you tried it?
Behind every sport, there is a Sportage. The new Kia Sportage.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
With Regina Blitz and its extra large sheets, you'll clean up in a flash. And for other jobs, big or small, try Regina Blitz Giant.
McNuggets have leveled up. Are you ready?
Imagine a life where money works for you. Protect your future, build wealth, or retire early. It starts with a financial plan. Just ask Paul.
Hi. I'm so sorry. Can't believe it.
You doing okay? Wish I just said something.
So full of life. Too young, too fast. I'm sorry.
He's gone too quick.
He's gone too fast.
Owen?
Yeah?
Oh, it's nothing.
Okay. See you later.
These are baked eggs. Dinner hosting, no coasting, recipe flick, dish picked, eggs cracking, flavor packing, table set, guest met, dished out, great shout, 5-star baked eggs. Eggs, crack on.
Today's lesson: how to save even more with Spar's back-to-school Red Value offers. Red hot right now, we have Kellogg's Cornflakes, 450 gram, only €2. Naked Smoothie Range, 300ml, now half price plus deposit. And Fresh Choice Kitchen Barn Eggs, 6-pack, just €2. See Red. Find amazing Spar Red Value under the tree.
And our minds were meant to sail. Take a rest from our thoughts, take a break from this world, and we'll feel miles away from the places that we used to be.
Ireland, this is your broadband wake-up call. Get Vodafone Fibre broadband from just €25 a month.
Great pair of lungs. Shame the same can't be said about your gums. You need Corsadil. It actively helps repair bleeding gums from just 1 week. High five! We're not there yet. Corsadil. Gum experts.
With football, there's a lot to consider. The Premier League on TNT Sports, proudly sponsored by Boyle Sports.
Welcome back. Under Thomas Frank, Spurs have started in impressive fashion, stunning Manchester City here with a 2-0 win to make it 2 wins out of 2 in the Premier League. It's another clean sheet as well for the visitors, who have won their 3rd game in 5 visits to the Etihad in the Premier League. Karen Carney and Joe Cole watching with me. And Karen, at the start of this game, we said this was going to be a good gauge. We would find out a lot about exactly where these two teams are at in relation to the rest of the season. What were the big things that we learned?
I think from a City's perspective, I was surprised at how disconnected they were today as opposed to last week, where I was like, wow, it felt like City was back last week. And today, totally different performance. Just in possession, they wasn't sure, they wasn't positive, taking people on and looked vulnerable. And credit to Spurs, brilliant game plan, really structured, really disciplined, and picked the moments and executed the game plan superbly.
It just goes to show, Joe, you can't get carried away after one game, and we do need a bigger sample size.
Yeah, of course you do. And it was a different test for Manchester City today. Tottenham came here and Thomas Frank set up his team fantastically well. And you've got to give the credit to the lads. The work rate and effort that's already instilled into this team. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to have to see how it unfolds as the season goes on. But for Spurs fans, they'll be looking at that and licking their lips, because you've got midfielders with talent, with aggression. They're grafting for each other.
And all different attributes as well.
All sorts, you know. And the window's still not shut. You've got Solanke on the bench, Richarlison who's reborn. So many positives for Tottenham.
OK, let's have a look at that first goal, Joe, as well. Because one of the things we saw in that first half was Spurs pulling the City fullbacks out of position.
Lewis, they're doing this all day. They were taking Lewis and both fullbacks out of position, getting it in. And then what they do is then they attack down the wings and they get overloads. You look at Lewis there and that space, and they were just feeding it into positions. And Manchester City could not deal with that. And the goal came from that as well. Again, it's a goal kick. They're not fiddling about with it. Take Ake right high. Sarr sees the space, he runs into it, or half in sight. And that was happening too often. Like I said, Manchester City will have to brush up on that if they're going to improve. But the top 4 or 5, because the way they play is a real nightmare for a possession-based team, because they've got such willing runners and such good quality just to feed it in there.
And the second goal, another avoidable one, Karen, for Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to remember that and obviously Polina there finishes. These are the options that he has. Just play it there to your right, to your centre-back, to Stones. He's got the time and space and you can build out. Or 1v1 with Haaland. But instead you play it into the right of the trap there, where Tottenham are going, go on, put it in there. As soon as they do it, bang, we snap in, we're physical, we're aggressive. And now all of a sudden you're scrambling. And I did feel like today, couldn't deal with the press and just didn't have really any solutions to it. But credit to Spurs.
How hard will that be for James Trafford to respond to, Joe, to go from such a good performance last week to that happening today?
It's the life of a goalkeeper. You know, it's high tariff, Linz. You know, one week you're the hero, the next week something like that, and then people will ask questions. You know, unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast when you are a goalkeeper. So, listen, he's a young man. I've got full faith in him. I've watched him play at Burnley last year. He was outstanding. For England under 21s, it was brilliant. And you don't play for Manchester City, you don't play for Pep unless you know what you're doing. What wouldn't have helped him is the Donnarumma noise that is coming out in and around it. You know.
Will that step up now? Do you think even more?
Well, listen, that's it. And what I know of the lad and what you hear about him from people who've worked with him is that he will step up. You know, and that's what you need. So you have to go through the fire with goalkeeper. Every goalkeeper would tell you they've made mistakes like that in their younger days, and you have to go through the fire and come through. I thought he looked a little bit shaky afterwards, but overall there was no more mistakes after that game. So you just put that to bed and move on now for him.
Joel already talked about that Spurs midfield, Karen. He made the changes from last week, but does that just go the strength and depth he has in those areas and the qualities they've got? Yeah,
I mean, he's obviously he's brought in Polina back into the team today, and obviously I think Ali gave him player of the match. He was instrumental in both goals, and obviously Polina then gets his second as well. But the physical nature of them, the game understanding, the experience of both of them, I love this, celebrating blocks, tackles. You know, this is what we saw from Polina when he was in his time at Fulham, and it's reading of the game. And you know, when you're playing against City, you need people just to block those little passes. And Bentancur there doing really, really well. But what they did really well though was, Joe, they found the Lem pass and then built on top of that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They were outstanding. And that man in your picture who's come to speak to us, he'd be delighted with his team. The way that they took on task This place is like, over the last 10 years, the most difficult place to come in the Premier League. It's been very, very difficult. And he's set up his team, and they've done a job. And then right to the endings as well. It wasn't just for it was all through the game.
Hi, Thomas.
Well done, boss.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you for coming out to join us, Thomas, and congratulations. Just tell us what makes you the most proud after that performance.
Now, I think this is one of the most difficult places to go to in the Premier League. A City side that need to bounce back from last season. You can see they came with everything. And I think before our goal, I think without them dominating us, they were more on top all on the game. But we stayed in it. We're solid, top mentality. And there will be games like this. We also early days. I know not even if we're early days. Let's say in 3 years' time we are fantastic. It's still tough in games to come here, for example. And then after the 1-0 goal, I think actually we were more or less the better side. And I'm very impressed of how we stepped up second half. And there were some big moments where we could have killed the game off.
I was going to ask about that second half as well, because you said it's early days, but have we already seen sort of a little evolution and lessons learned after what happened in the PSG game, the way you managed that second half?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. I think this is also 10 days later, so it's not only the learning from that game, also the learning from that game, but I think especially the high pressure was consistently good second half, and they struggled to get out of that. And that I'm very happy with.
Thomas, can I say, sorry, fantastic performance first and foremost, and a great result. For you coming into Spurs, it's an unusual time to come into a club because such a difficult season in the league, but they'd won a trophy. So what did you find when you walked into the room in terms of the confidence and the mentality of the players?
I think I found actually a very strong mentality in the players. It was a group of players that's been, through a tough season, ending on a high. But I think that those tough moments have, pulled them even closer together. So great mentality in many ways. And then we had to build on that.
Yeah. Have you noticed more scrutiny? It's obviously it's a huge club, Tottenham, and there's all the eyes are on you now, and there's expectations. Have you noticed that's ramped up from your previous clubs?
I would say, of course, I'm aware of it, but I'm not on social media.
Yeah.
I very rarely.
Good choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Wise man.
I'm because of what you just said there.
Yeah.
I don't think it does any good to anyone, in my opinion. Secondly, I read very, very little in the media.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't give me any good. Half of it is, I can't swear, so half of it is wrong, and half of it is just, clickbait.
Yeah.
So I doesn't read too much. And I think, how can I say, I love football, but the other bit, I don't care.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thomas, you're obviously really big on set pieces. And one thing I picked up on is how aggressive you were from their goal kicks, but also the detail from your goal kicks, which actually led to both goals. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Thank you.
Is that not true?
Yeah, I think definitely big on set piece, and I agree. On our goal kick, we tried to play out, and think that was quite successful at times. But the big thing is how we press from a goal kick, and how that's also linked to the high pressure. And as you can see, we go man-man, and that's big for us, big for me.
Thomas, you're only the second manager who's come here with two different clubs in the Premier League and one away at Man City, joining Antonio Conte against Pep Guardiola. Just how proud does that make you on a personal level, that achievement?
First and foremost, Pep is, I've said it before, I think he's an unbelievable manager. He's been a manager I've been looking up to for many years, studied, followed in detail. The other manager, Conte, is also a manager I've studied for many years. So it's two of the big boys. So I'm proud of that, yeah.
And can I ask you about Richarlison today? He got an assist on top of his 2 goals last week as well. Is that position now up front for Dominic Solanke to try and get back in there? And how much do you like having that competition?
I think, again, Richie, performed well today. Top assist, presence up there, work ethic, everything was very good about it. And we need 2 good strikers. We're going to play a lot of games. And of course, Richie is now starting, so we just need to keep his shirt.
And just over a week left of the transfer window.
Sorry.
Just over a week left of that window. Obviously, a lot of talk this week about a player who didn't arrive. But what would be the ideal for you before the end of that window? What do you want?
I think we, as showed today, we have a strong squad, a strong group of players that I believe a lot in. Of course, we would like to add a bit, but only if we can strengthen the squad. So we're looking to adding, hopefully succeeding. I know the club is working very hard, and I trust them.
Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
boss.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thomas, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
Thomas Frank saying that they're looking to strengthen. They obviously show that the players they do have are pretty good themselves, Karen. But what do they need? Do they still have to get that sort of number 10, that player who can link the midfield and the attack?
He mentioned it there. It's a long season. They've got a lot of football matches and we're only 2 in. And top end of the pitch is really important to them. Defensively, we've seen today how structure and discipline they are. Obviously, they lack that creativity with Kulichevsky and Maddison not out. So that, I'm sure, will be the area they're looking to strengthen in.
Okay, well, we can get some more reaction from the Etihad here after Manchester City lost 2-0 to Tottenham in their second game of the season. It's still early days for Pep, but he was left scratching his head again, and we'll get more reaction when we come back.
With football, there's a lot to consider. The Premier League on TNT Sports, proudly sponsored by Boyle Sports.
London derbies are huge. You know, there's always that extra bit of fire in the belly.
You can't really put it into words, you just have to feel it.
Derby day just feels different, always. It's game time.
Let's see who wants it more.
Oh, you know why you don't like pineapples? There's a problem with you not liking pineapple.
Pineapple is delicious, but not on a pizza.
It is, because
Pizza's not a fruit salad.
Whether it goes on pizza or not, pineapples are one of hundreds of products price matched to Aldi, along with thousands of club card prices.
Pineapple is gorgeous on a pizza. It's
No
lovely,
way.
sweet.
I don't know where
gorgeous.
you get your notion.
Back in the day, if you wanted a picture of yourself, this was the only option. Be still! Forget this. Way easier. Same with shoes. You used to have to bend down and struggle. But there's an easier way with hands-free Skechers slip-ins. I just step in and go. No bending down, and I never have to touch my shoes. Step out the dark ages and step into Skechers slip-ins.
We must be smart. Bjorn, 4-5-1, you go up front. Unbelievable.
Spisa det. Du är Excel när du sulten. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
At 123.ie, we have one of the best car insurance policies with more benefits included as standard. So, you can forget about us and remember the more important things. 123.ie. Give better a try.
When you need to get tough on pain, Neuromol Dual Action combines the power of paracetamol and ibuprofen to provide faster, longer lasting, more effective relief than standard painkillers alone. Hit pain hard with Neuromol Dual Action.
What a hotel. Right? And only $280 a night on my favorite site.
What? You didn't check Trivago?
I got mine for $185. You have to check Trivago.
Check Trivago, and you could save up to 35%.
You didn't check Trivago?
I didn't check Trivago.
Hotel Trivago.
Lucy, get out of the rain. What are you doing?
Racing. Proper exhilaration. Sport of fine margins. Where getting your nose in front is all that matters. So get our best odds guaranteed on all Irish and UK racing from 8 a.m. daily. That's proper value. from a proper bookmaker. William Hill, betting done properly.
This guy's vision, not normal. Tuesday and Wednesday nights aren't normal. Thursdays are wild too. Normal can sling its hook. With all these competitions in one place, this is not normal. TNT Sports.
There's a mistake again and a chance, and it's Richarlison. It's a vital touch. It's fired in though. And João Palhinha.
Impressive performance from Spurs. Tough day for Manchester City, losing 2-0 here. We can get the thoughts of Pep Guardiola now. He's been speaking to Jules Breach.
Pep, a disappointing result for your team today. What did you make of their performance?
I had the feeling it was a little bit better than the result, so we start well. We concede a goal like could happen, but the simple things, I miss the simple things with the ball. We lost with the quality they have, that individually our simple things with the ball, we miss it, and that's why, of course, they can transition, and after, of course, score the second in the edge of the first half was difficult. We need one goal. We had the chances. And the penalty don't given from Oscar, and after the chance from Erling and Ryan, and we have chances at the end, of course, some transitions of them. So, and we didn't read much well, so it's my marking and pressing that we knew it from, because Thomas has do it and happen. We have to track and play in different way that we played. But in the final third was really good. We don't concede. We control the transitions. But yeah, the result is not good, but it's a long way, and we will learn from that.
Did you feel like you had a lot of control of the game before they scored, and then why was it so difficult to get that back?
It happened sometimes. Some of the time when sports happen, so they punish us always in that position. Can happen or an action, but they didn't do anything. But even with that, before the goal and after the goal, it was slippery and many times, and the simple things, the passes, we didn't break, and we didn't make, I would say, our build-up. They were so narrow, put the ball more outside, and from there try to make the actions. But yeah, we will read, because many teams today is a lot of pressing, high pressing. You have to read for that.
Was it a big difference facing Thomas Frank's Spurs side to the Spurs of last season?
It's the beginning of the game, so I'm not going to say now if Thomas is better than Ange, or Ange is better than Thomas. So it's a question of the Spurs. So for me, Spurs always have been a good team, and last season was, and this season again.
Aït-Nouri had to come off injured in the first half. Is that anything serious?
I don't know. I didn't speak with the doctors yet.
There's just over a week left of this transfer window, and I know you've been asked a lot about your squad size. Obviously, the bigger it is, the more options you have, but it means having to leave players at home. So what's more important, having those options or keeping your squad happy?
The right balance, so the players don't play for a long time is not good, but you have to have enough players to play every 3-4 days in this demanding league. So we will see. We have a long week with the club, we talk with the players, agents, and we'll see.
Akanji and Gundogan were both left out of your squad completely today. Is that an example of that?
Last game was Rodri and Phil Foden.
Up next for you, Brighton. How important is it that you bounce back and get a win as you head into the international break?
Now we have 7 days, so we have recover and analyze and talk and start to train. As much we maintain that rhythm that we are maintaining from already a long time, we're a moment that we will find the right balance and we do it.
Thanks, Pep.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Pep saying he had a feeling it would be better today. Karen, just how big a drop-off was the performance from last week? Where do you feel they struggled the most?
I think he mentioned it, the simple things. The 5-yard passes, taking someone on, over touching things. And obviously then Spurs gained confidence and Spurs picked them off in those moments. But it did feel a little bit disconnected. They're still a young group and he's trying to embed some new players in a little bit. But it's still very early and he's a top manager and I'm sure he'll get a tune out of him.
He said as well he wants to trim that squad. Jules asked there about Gundogan and Akanji. He's had to leave them in the freezer, as he's called that before. He doesn't like it. He said it's impossible for his soul when he's having to leave players out. Judges, how imperative is it for him that they get that squad size down?
Especially players who've done such a great job for you. You know, I'm sure managers find it, you know, especially someone like Pep, who seems like he likes to be close to his players. He likes that personal connection. He likes to feel that. So, you know, football's the only game in the world where you have to sack someone on Saturday morning and rehire them again on Monday, because effectively that's what you're doing. You're saying, well, we don't need you for this job, but next week we'll need you. So it's a difficult one to manage with players. And when you've built up over many years. He's been here a long time, remember. He's gone for a lot with them type, like particularly Gundogan. You know, he brought him back, you know, and now he's not playing. So I understand that, and that's a personal thing. But ultimately, we're a results business, and you need to put the players on the pitch you think are going to win you that game.
And looking for results, it's a tough run coming up. It's Brighton away next weekend. Then they've got the Manchester derby here after the international break, followed by Arsenal away, Karen. That is a daunting run they've got ahead, City, as they try once again to prove that they are genuinely back.
Yeah, but look, they've been through this before in terms of the next game's a big game, the game after. This is why they were so successful in the last season, the seasons obviously before that. But, you know, he'll get a response out of them. He's also got a new staff that you're going to have to lean on to bring the energy and get these players back up again. It didn't feel right. They were disconnected today. The individual quality wasn't there, but there's always a next game to respond.
Yeah, that response against Brighton next weekend, absolutely crucial. So the doubts of last season don't creep in. Well, we've got a lot more to come for you from Manchester. Extra time on the way for you. We'll be bringing you more reaction and analysis from the Etihad after Spurs won 2-0.
With football, there's a lot to consider. The Premier League on TNT Sports, proudly sponsored by Boyle Sports.
The new Serie A season kicks off with Scudetto holders Napoli beginning their title defence against Sassuolo. And that's not all. Don't miss Igor Tudor's Juve lock horns with Parma tomorrow from 7:45.
This guy's vision, not normal. Tuesday and Wednesday nights aren't normal. Thursdays are wild too. Normal can sling its hook with all these competitions in one place. This is not normal. TNT Sports.
This must be Kelly. What are you doing?
Yes, most of the time. But just be careful, because he always leaves it when he sees me.
Well done. Good boy, Kelly.
Ducks.
Not hearing the whole conversation? Book a free hearing check with one of our experts.
Now boarding the train of thought.
Calling out. Injury lane.
80% at best.
Statminster. Opinion Circus. Last chance cross. And decision time.
Back yourself. Boyle Sports.
Gracie, did you know the picture? Where's he going?
Daddy, what are you doing?
Nothing.
At Vodafone, we understand the power of a strong connection.
Happy birthday, love.
Of course! I love it.
Make every connection count with Vodafone Fibre Broadband.
Reach and clean the impossible with the Starlife Crevice Brush from JML, the versatile cleaning solution for hard-to-reach areas that your standard cloths and brushes can't clean. Made with thousands of tough, durable bristles, its slim design makes it the perfect cleaning tool to tackle narrow corners, tight spaces, and the hidden crevices in your kitchen, bathroom, and beyond. And with 2 in a pack, you can get the cleaning edge you need, thanks to the Starlife Crevice Brush. Only $9.99 from Tesco, Home Store and More, Super Value and Woodies.
Hello, Dunn Stores. What's on this week? Ah, my favourite meal of the day. And my favourite source of protein. And any 3 for £2.50. How do I narrow it down to 3? This brekkie keeps getting better. At a great price too. Oh, and my 5 off 25 voucher means I can save even more.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Red Bull Zero. 0 calories, 100% wings. Have you tried it?
That might be the moment that costs them. Hang on, it's not over yet. That's pure magic.
Sell your car on Motorway, sponsors of the Premier League on TNT Sports.
Welcome back to Extra Time, live from the Etihad. Spurs have beaten Manchester City 2-0 here in their second game of the season. Brennan Johnson and João Palhinha with the goals. And this is some of your response on social media. Philip says that it was a Thomas Frank masterclass, perfectly executed by the Spurs players. And the Chief says that's a bad result. Shades of last season in the performance. Teams will fancy their chances against us. And the Spurs web saying, back Thomas Frank with absolutely anything he wants. Back him now. Is there a worry, do you think, from Spurs fans that there is a little bit of a history of the managers not being backed? Karen, there.
Yeah,
coming through.
Yeah, and obviously what's happened the last few weeks, we've lost out on potential 2 marquee signings. But, you know, the manager came over, he said he trusts the team and trusts the staff to bring in the players that he wants. So I'm sure there will be people coming in, but it will be typical maybe last minute of Spurs.
What would be the dream, do you think, for Spurs? What would make the fans happy at the end of the window?
At the end of the window? I can't see there being much more happening. I think it's Daniel. No, I think Daniel Levy's he's a great position. He ain't spent a lot of money. He seems to have got a 2 great results. Squad's moving. I don't think he'll go and get somebody that is of age and ready to go. I think there'll be a few young players that come in that'll bolster the squad.
Savinho, do you think after today, do you think that's more or less likely?
After today, I think the Savinho deal is less likely. It could possibly happen. It depends, because we don't know what's happening with financial fair play. We don't know what the needs of certain buying clubs and selling clubs in terms of what they need to do. But like you're sitting there with Daniel Levy going, I'm pretty set there with what I've got. You know, maybe one young player coming.
You've got Kulusevski out till January. You've got Maddison injured for probably most of the season, and you haven't got Son. Surely you've got to bring in that sort of creative player.
The thing with Savinho, though, you look at City and Pep's saying, I want to trim my squad. So you're going, well, maybe is there anyone there? And I think that is a player that I do think coming in.
But would he be like your Son replacement, and you still need that more central player, that creative link, do you think?
But you might be able to put Kudus there. You might be able to move and adjust someone in that. You know, he's a top manager. He can move players around. They're not fixed to one position. But I do see that Savinho thing happening. I do think that might happen.
Looking ahead to the rest of the football this weekend, it is a big one. On Monday night, Liverpool heading to St James's Park, Joe. Just how feisty, on a scale of 1 to 10, do we think that atmosphere is going to be?
It'll be very feisty. It'll be electric. A night game. Tensions will be high. Players, you know, it's a classic game in any way. You know, some games seem to take on a new life, and this is one of them. Add on with the Isak situation, I think it's going to be, they'll be at it. There'll be tackles. I even fancy a red card or a couple of red cards in the game. I think it'll be a great game.
Eddie Howe in his press conference again, very, very dignified with the way he's handling all this, not saying anything at all bad about the player in question, Karen. He just keeps saying he'll be welcome back when he's ready. He's family. But for you, do you think it's past the point of no return?
I think Newcastle are in control. You've got a player that's got, I think, 3 years left. They won't sell unless they have someone of the same quality coming in, and I don't see that happening. So no one wins at this moment, and I'm not sure what happens, if I'm honest. But I think Newcastle hold the cards.
Can't wait to see that atmosphere. It'll be interesting when that bus pulls up at St James's Park, won't it? Well, there's lots more live sport on TNT Sports coming up this weekend, including the start of the new Serie A season. Napoli beginning their title defence. That's the Sassuolo from 5:30. There's snooker from the Wuhan Open. That's tomorrow from 7. The MotoGP season continues with the Grand Prix of Hungary. That's from 12:15 tomorrow. British Superbikes action from Caldwell Park tomorrow at 1. And from more Serie A for you tomorrow evening, Juventus at home to Parma. That's from 7:45. Karen, Joe, thank you very much for your company today. Enjoy the rest of the bank holiday weekend, but do not go anywhere because we've got live cycling coming up for you. The final Grand Tour of the season is underway. It's stage 1 of La Vuelta about to get going. Orla and the team are standing by for you. It's over to you.
We are indeed. Thank you, Lindsay. What a match, eh? Well, if you fancy a little more sport this Saturday afternoon, you don't even have to change the channel because, as Lindsay says, coming up after the break is stage 1 of La Vuelta, the final cycling Grand Tour of the